Hello my friends, I welcome all of you in my channel. The recent pandemic COVID-19 has a serious or we can say worst impact on our life and health across the globe. But at the same time or simultaneously it has an impact on our English vocab or vocabulary too. And the fact is something undeniable or undeniably true. Each day we are coming across several new dictions, terms and phrases related to COVID-19. Some of them you are already aware of, and there are a few you need to know about because it's a part of English vocabulary. And to improve your English and to face the various competitive English based exams, you need to know all these new words or terms or phrases which have made a permanent room or place in English vocabulary now. And this video is going to be so helpful for you from competitive English based exams and other competitive exams as well. So without wasting much time, let's begin. COVID-19 and English vocabulary. The first word that we have come across is pandemic. What is pandemic? Pandemic is a disease spreading through an entire country, a continent, or even throughout the world. The latest example is of COVID-19. And another example of such a pandemic is N191 pandemic. The next term is apex. What does it mean? The summit or peak. It refers to the highest rate of cases, after which the number of cases slow down. Another important word we all are more or less aware of, that is quarantine. What is it? It's a kind of imposed isolation on affected person or persons issued by the concerned government to break chain of further infection. There is another category of quarantine, that is self-quarantine. What is self-quarantine? It's self-imposed quarantine to check the infection from spreading into others when one realizes that he or she has come across such a patient most recently. That means this type of self-quarantine is not imposed by the government but by the person himself or herself whenever or as soon as the person realizes that most recently he has come across a COVID-19 patient or any other patient who is suffering from a contagious disease, he decides or she decides to put a kind of self quarantine upon himself or herself so that the infection does not spread among the other members of the family or the locality in which he or she lives. Another important term, that is asymptomatic. What is this asymptomatic? We know that in case of any disease or illness, some symptoms are detected. But in some cases, though the person is suffering from a particular disease, but the symptoms and signs which are very much associated with that disease, sometimes those symptoms cannot be found. So, showing no evidence or symptoms of an illness or disease, such a state of the patient is called asymptomatic. That is, suppose a person is already suffering from a disease, but he is not aware of this fact because no such symptom of that particular disease has been detected either by him or by any physician. This video is going to be so helpful for all of you as it would improve your vocabulary, and it's a fact, and the fact is undeniably true, that Corona has actually improved our English vocabulary by giving some of the English words. I know that you may have some other arguments about it, but it's such a fact that is something undeniably true. What's the other phrase? That is community spread. when there are people having the infection with them without travel history or exposure to an unknown infected person. Community spread. This one is very important, that is flatten the curve. It's a graph in which a curve is shown, and higher the curve is, higher the number of cases. To show the increase of cases, a curve is drawn. The higher the curve is, it shows the higher the number of cases. Curve shows the number of cases over time, but whenever this curve starts flattening, it means the prevention of surge of new cases in a short period. And I am telling you that in case of any competitive exam, from the viewpoint of general knowledge also, this information is going to be helpful for you. And if you are a student of English and English literature, or you are going to face any exam in which you would have English, so there these types of questions may come in the form of MCQ and so on. The another phrase that we should know about, that is herd immunity. Dear friends, look at the spelling. It's not H-A-R-D, it's H-E-R-D, herd, herd immunity. Here herd refers to a gathering, a crowd. So when enough people are immune to a particular disease, either by recovering already from that disease or receiving a vaccine or an antidote against the same. Another word that is very frequently used, and we all are aware of this term, that is lockdown. A complete shutdown imposed over almost everything within a city or country by its government to spread the chain of infection by compelling people to stay indoors. And we all have this experience. People across the globe are experiencing or have already experienced this situation. So the term lockdown has a French origin. The French term from where the lockdown term has come, this particular or that particular French term of origin is cordon sanitaire. Okay, so cordon sanitaire is the French term that also means lockdown. So let's know about the history of lockdown in brief. In the year 1793, at the outbreak of yellow fever is a kind of disease that once spread or broke out in the country Philadelphia once. There, roads and bridges in the place Philadelphia once in 1793, this particular fever, yellow fever, once broke out, and then the soldiers they just blocked the roads and bridges over there to restrict the entry of people. And recently the Wuhan province of PRC, People's Republic China, there also such a lockdown was imposed. Okay, and now the entire world has already experienced, or some of the countries are still experiencing this lockdown situation. So the history of lockdown and where has the word lockdown come into existence, this information is going to be so helpful for you. So note it down, dear friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I request you to please subscribe the channel and to like and to share with your friends and to comment and let me know how do you like the videos and what kind of videos do you expect from me. Please stay tuned. Please subscribe the channel to get such informative videos on English language, literature and discourse. Thanks.